The woman at the center of a discredited Rolling Stone article, she's known as Jackie, testifying that some details of her alleged sexual assault are foggy because she has post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. As a former University of Virginia assistant dean mentioned in that story is suing Rolling Stone for defamation. She claims the writer, Sabrina Erdely, portrayed her as the villain of that story. Let's bring in Lise Wheel, Fox News legal analyst, and Wendy Patrick, a veteran prosecutor and trial attorney. Now, this woman, Jackie, who was the centerpiece of this now discredited article, she is not being sued, at least not yet, and probably never. But can claiming PTSD, can that somehow absolve her of her role in this whole fiasco?
Well, again, as you said, she's not being sued yet, so she's not really a part of this. But it may down the road. Right now, we're looking at the assistant dean who's saying that she's been defamed. The court has ruled that she is a quasi-public figure because she's put herself out there to the public, which makes it harder for her to sue because the standard now is higher for her. You've got to actually prove defamation. You've got to prove that she's a public, is a public figure. So there was actual malice against her, which makes it a harder standard of proof against her going forward. That they went after her, they attacked her name, they attacked the University of Virginia. It makes it harder for the harder burden of proof against the Rolling Stones.
She was asked, this woman Jackie was asked in this video deposition how she felt about then Dean Aramo, Nicole Aramo, right, the woman who is suing, and she said she did what an advocate is supposed to do and helped me. That right. Would seem to go a long way toward helping this woman prove her case.
You know, it sure does. And part of the relevance, John, of what we heard today regarding the deposition of the victim, Jackie in this case, you know, like they say, a picture is worth 1,000 words, but a videotape is priceless. In other words, the jurors got to both see and hear a woman whose credibility is key to this defamation case, even though she's not on trial, right, nor is she the victim on trial. It's not a sexual assault case. We live in a day and age of what I'll call cultural climate change. You hear allegations of rape culture, of campus sexual misconduct, and it's within that context that this article was written with the terrible things that were said about Dean Aramo. So I think the victim's testimony helps in a sense really kind of bolster the fact that she wasn't the person this article made her out to be.
And Jackie apparently said time and time again on the stand that she couldn't remember things, didn't know things about, you know, the events that ended up in this article.
But that can also be understandable. I mean, I'm not a psychiatrist, nor are you, but it can also be understandable, can it, though, if you're so traumatized by something that you might not remember it, though. You might not remember it in that moment, that it actually makes it more believable that you don't remember it.
She said, I stand by the account I gave to Rolling Stone. I believed it to be true at the time.
What's troublesome about that, John, is she also stands by the account she gave to Dean Aramo, and those are two different stories.
Right.
So if we were to look at the instances and certainly sexual assault is highly traumatizing, could very well lead to PTSD, but did it in this case? If it had, perhaps we wouldn't have had the divergent stories at the beginning. That's the legal argument that's in play during this trial.
Yeah, we'll let our viewers know what happens. It's expected to go on for another few days, this trial. Wendy Patrick, Lise Wheel, thank you.
Thanks, John.
Jenna.
Well, John,